Oh yeah, what's going on, fam? It's your man VACAY-J, and yes, I'm back with another video. This is for Atlanta Season 4, Episode 3 recap, Born to Die. And yeah, I definitely like this episode. This episode was very interesting, definitely for Earn and absolutely for Al, aka Paperboy. So we're gonna break it down. Alright, so the episode starts off with Paperboy. He looks like he was doing a bar mitzvah performance, and it was a great performance. And this guy pops up on Paperboy like, yeah, man, how do you do it? You know, how you do that rap thing, da-da-da-da, make it look real. And, you know, Paperboy's just like, yo, this is definitely real. I don't know what you're talking about, man. He's like, listen, I want to hire you. He's like, talk to my manager. And pretty much he's like, listen, I'll pay you $1 million to teach my son how to rap. So, of course, Paperboy gonna do that for that $1 million, right? So now we shoot over to Earn's new job, right? Remember, he went for that new job, and it looks like they have a client who wrote a book or whatever, and they're part of the marketing firm. But looks like she pulled a strap out on a young man doing a fundraiser in her neighborhood. Now she has a book out talking about I'm sorry, and yeah, there's a lot of problems going on. So they're trying to figure out how to spin it, right? They're trying to spin it so, you know, she'll definitely be back on track as far as her marketing. But Earn, he's not feeling it at all. He's like, man, this is whack. This is like boring or whatever. So he's like, yo, can we sound like new people? Can we work on new people? And he's like, yeah, I mean, you know, if you want to go ahead and try to sign D'Angelo or sign somebody else, whatever. So Earn is like, yo, I can sign somebody else. I can absolutely sign D'Angelo, you know. So now he's in the industry, and he's been in the industry for a while. So he has contacts and connections. So he's asking this guy, yo, you still know D'Angelo's hair braider, right? So he can get that connection, get him signed. Turn around. Now we're in the studio, and we're in the studio with this kid, Yodel kid. He's yodeling, right? He's doing his little rap, corny rap. And then we see Benny. Benny is the kid of the guy that paid $1 million. Is going to pay $1 million to Paperboy to teach him how to rap. So he's like, yeah, you know, I'm Paperboy. And the kid is like, who? Like, he don't even know who Paperboy is. You know, he's like, yeah, I'm Paperboy. You know, the rapper. You know, I'm here to help you out. He's like, oh, yeah, you the guy that my father bought. Yeah, you know, my father tried to do the most. And then Yodel kid is like, I know you, man. Yeah, I used to listen to you when I was a kid, right? And he's like, listen, man, you could just cop a squad over there. I'm about to go in the studio. I don't really need no help, man. You know what I'm saying? You could just collect that check. So Paperboy sits down, and there's, you know, Yodel kid's girlfriend. She's pregnant. So here comes Bunk, and Bunk comes in the studio. He's managing this kid right here, and this kid is doing some type of crazy rap. And he's like, yo, you want to hang out with these kids, or you want to go to Studio 3 and just chop it up? So, you know, Paperboy's like, man, yeah, let's get out of here, right? So they go to Studio 3, and they're talking. And Paperboy's like, yeah, man, I just want to collect this $1 million and be out of here. And Bunk is like, man, you should be collecting $10 million, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to definitely chop it up. Me and my boys, we doing something big. And yeah, you want to invest in all of that. That's cool. But, you know, you want to make mad money because, you know, it takes a lot of money to keep this lifestyle up. So they're going to talk and kick it. And yeah, Bunk is going to put him on to what they're doing. Now we got Earn. And Earn is like, yo, he got a GPS on where D'Angelo possibly is at this Rowley's, right, in Georgia. And he's like, Rowley's in Georgia? What's that about, right? So he's looking kind of suspect as to what's going on. So he goes to the side, and he sees the restaurant, right? But then he sees this sign that says D'Angelo on it, and the guy's upside down, right? So it looked real weird. So he goes inside, and he sees the guy sitting there like a security dude. And he's like, hey, what's going on? And the dude ain't saying nothing. He's reading his little book next to this vault door. And, you know, he's like, yeah, I'm here to see D'Angelo, whatever. So he gestures over to the waiting area. And the waiting area is just this wall. And it has a little mat on the floor. And looks like people have been waiting there before, because Earn is looking down. There's like blood underneath the mat. And it's looking real sus right now. And he's looking at the guy like, yo, what is this all about? This is weird. And the dude looking at him ain't saying nothing, just reading his little comic book or whatever. Like, yeah, you better not do nothing crazy. So now we got Paperboy. He shows up to this meeting. And at first I thought it was like some network marketing type of meeting or whatever that, you know, Bunk invited him to. And then homeboy comes in, he's like, yo, if you hit a rap, you know, you can walk out the door right now. We doing something big. We about to put you on. If you're here, you care about your life and everything, right? So they show a picture. He's like, yeah, who is the person that actually sold a lot based on this picture, right? And the guy's like, listen, in this industry, it's all about optics, right? It's all about optics. So, Al is looking real sus, like, what is he talking about? What is this guy talking about? He's like, listen, I'm about to put you guys on to something big, something that we're doing, and you need to get this formula right here. Remember this formula, dream about it. And, Al's like, what is a YWA? He's like, young white avatar. You need to get a young white avatar. And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah, you need to get a young white rapper and train him, do what you need to do with him and everything else like that, right? And, Al is on some like, yo, man, I could put out an album better than these cats, da-da-da. He's like, yeah, you can, but ain't nobody trying to hear you. It's like, this is what's going to happen. At first, you come out the street, just like we all did, right? You the young rapper, right? This is how we all come out as rappers, right? And then you get to that next level where you are OG, right? People respect you. People respect your music and everything else like that, right? So he's breaking it down. And he's like, yeah, by the time you get to the third album, now you're doing like family films, you know what I'm saying? And soon you're going to be, Ice Cube's best friend. And Are We There Yet 5? I thought it was funny, right? And, Paperboy's like, nah, man, I just did like an arena, da-da-da-da, right? You know what I'm saying? I'm still popping. He's like, yeah, what you going to do? Like, stadiums now? Like, there's only but so much time that you got and nobody's really trying to check for you, man. So they can scoffing and laughing or whatever. He's like, listen, man, I'm telling you, get a young white rapper and you train him up and this is what's going to happen. So Bunk is like, listen, let me ask you a question, right? Did they even know who you was when you went in the studio? And it's like, nah, you didn't even know, right? So now Paperboy's on a mission and he's looking for Benny, right? So he wants to find out what's going on with Benny. Benny's up there rapping in high school, giving out money, people going crazy, like they're going wild over Benny, right? You got Yodel Boy there. And he's, trying to chop it up. And he obviously is on some drugs or some type of substances, right? So, Benny's over there signing autographs. And this guy, Yodel Boy, he is like out of his mind, tripping. He don't even know what's going on. Like, he's like, you know where Benny's at? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know who Benny is? Like, no. So Paperboy goes over to Benny. He's like, yo, man, we need to talk, man. It looks like you blowing up and everything else like that. We need to get tighter, man. I need to talk to you about being your manager. And he's like, yeah, well, Bunk already talked to me about that, man. Your Bunk is a good dude. Yeah, man, you should talk to him about that. But yeah, Bunk already got me, signed to, his management company, right? So Bunk already signed Benny and he was supposed to be helping Benny with his rap, right? He's like, yeah, you need to talk to him. He's a good dude. He's like, yeah, okay, right? So Yodel Kid is like, yeah, really, really messed up. And now Paperboy is going to give him a ride. So now we got back at Riley's, right? Ern is waiting to see D'Angelo, right? So he's brushing his teeth there. He looks like he's been there for a while. Come to find out, he's been there for like 4 days, right? He's been there for 4 days straight. Got his little charger, whatever, playing, handball. And he's like, yo, man, y'all got something to drink? So he points over to the closet and he opens the closet. There's some Dasani water up in there. It's like, that's the worst water. They banned that water in Europe. So Ern is like, yo, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable, right? So he snatches one of his comic books or whatever and sits down. And then he starts to meditate. He's like, yo, who is D'Angelo? He's like, what is D'Angelo? And he's like, we are D'Angelo, right? I want to experience D'Angelo. So the guy gets up and he opens the wall, like a section in the wall with this key. And he opens up the wall. And your boy Ern looks through like, okay. So he immediately jumps through it and walks and climbs through it, comes out on the other end, right? Kind of like the first episode. But he comes out in this closet with this real old looking type of room. And this guy's playing some Al Green. And he's kind of singing. Now, from the back, it looks like, D'Angelo, right? So this guy gets up. He goes to the fridge, brings out the Wonder Bread and gets some chicken. He doesn't put the chicken on the bread. He takes the skin of the chicken and puts it on the bread. Put a little like seasoning, extra seasoning on it or whatever. And he turns around. It is not D'Angelo. And Ern is like, you're not D'Angelo, man. And the guy's like, listen, man, you said you wanted to experience D'Angelo. This is the D'Angelo experience. We are D'Angelo. You know what I'm saying? It's a construct or whatever. Of course, Earn is disappointed. He's been waiting for 4 days straight. They probably been calling him. And he's just like, yes, we are, a people and this and that. And he's talking about D'Angelo is the experience. And, these people in this world, they don't deserve his presence or whatever. And he's like, listen, you are now the protector. And he puts some stuff on his forehead and he's like, he's trying to sing. And it's clear that Earn is totally dissatisfied and frustrated and confused at the same time. He's like, listen, man, if I don't sign D'Angelo, I'm going to be in trouble. He's like, yes, I know. Yes, listen, man, they're not going to do anything to harm you and everything else like that. So Earn is like, hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. He's like, hey, this whole operation, cost some money, man. He's like, hey, man, I can't really do it, man. He's like, were you going to sign me? He's like, nah, I wasn't going to sign you, man, but you do sound good. You do sound pretty good. He's like, oh, okay. I sound good, right? So he was satisfied with that. And then Earn gets out of there disappointed. So now we're at the Grammys, fam. And it looks like everything is popping. You got Benny and Bunk, they taking selfies and everything. And yeah, they're happy to be there. Bunk is happy to be there. The homies happy to be there. Everybody's happy to be there because they got their young white avatar, right? And they're all up for nominations. So here comes Al, Paperboy. He's like, yo, what's going on? He's like, yo, you nominated for something? He's like, nah, I'm here to support, my artist. He's like, oh, you got an artist? Yeah, I got an artist. You heard of him, Yodel Kid. And they're like, what? Yodel Kid, for real? Yodel Kid sold like 1 million streams and everything else like that. Like, man, how'd you do it, man? Did you pay somebody, right? So they surprised because, yeah, they didn't know that, Paperboy had Yodel Kid, and Yodel Kid is blowing up. So they're like, yo, did you pay somebody? And Paperboy's like, yo, don't we all gotta pay somebody, to make it happen? So it looks like Al, Paperboy, is on top of the world. It's like, all right, man, we're gonna see you inside, man, you know what I mean? So looks like Yodel Kid is up for a Grammy and he might win the Grammy, right? So now, of course, he's looking for Yodel Kid and he sees Benny. He's like, yo, Benny, where's Yodel Kid? He's like, yo, you ain't know, man, Yodel Kid is dead. Yo, he OD'd and everything else like that. Like, he tripped out and he's gone now. You know what I'm saying? So he's looking online. And of course, Al is disappointed. Like, what? He's dead? It's like, yo, I just signed him. Like, you just blew him up and everything else like that. So he probably took some of that money and invested to blow him up. He's like, yo, he's probably going to win that Grammy, though. He's definitely going to win the Grammy. But yeah, Paperboy, he is totally disappointed at that as well, because guess what? He ain't going to get no more money now because he's dead. So the nominee goes to Yodel Kid, right? So he did win the Grammy. And yeah, now, man, his girlfriend goes up there, had the baby, taking the Grammy and the nomination and everything else like that. So yes, Al, Paperboy, he's disappointed, totally disappointed, man. He's like, yo, I don't think I'm cut out for this management thing. And he's talking to Earn and he's like, yo, Earn, yo, how do you do it? And Earn is like, yo, man, it's all about what survives, pretty much, man. Like, Earn is just like, whatever. Like, he just had a disappointing experience, and so now Al has a disappointing experience, and it is what it is. It's just like, man, this is not a good day for us. Right? So Earn gets up out of there, and he has some meetings to go to, and he's always working, always grinding, so he's always moving on to the next thing, and that's how he moves. Darius is like, yo, man, there's an after party going on, are you gonna go? And Al, he's just depressed about everything, man. He's just like, yo, this is just not good. Because, yeah, he thought he was in the money when he had that YWA, man. But doesn't look like things are going right. So that is the recap of Atlanta Season 4, Episode 3, Born to Die, right? So you guys, let me know your thoughts, your theories on this. Was this a great episode? I thought it was a pretty good episode, right? So definitely drop your thoughts, your theories on what your thoughts are on this episode. Again, loving Atlanta, loving how they're moving with this thing, and we're going to keep this thing going. So fam, you already know. I appreciate you all for watching. Listen, if you're just finding me, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Do me another favor, hit that like button, and absolutely thank you for your love and support. And if you thought this video was good, you liked it, definitely check out this next one right here. Till next time, salute.